Have you ever needed to extract a McAfee quarantine file? Today's tutorial will show you how to extract a BUP file with punbup in the lab. There are many reasons to extract the files out of a McAfee quarantine file. The most common is to perform deeper analysis or to restore a file that was incorrectly identified. We will use the SANS SIFT workstation today to perform this task using the punbup.py script. Alright, one of the first things we're going to have to do to be able to use punbup.py is to make sure we have everything we need to installed. So first thing we're going to do is make sure we got Python pip installed. Python pip will allow us to install the OLE file. On this particular machine, it's already installed, so it didn't have to do anything. Now we can use pip to install OLE file, which is probably already on here as well. Yep, it was already on there. You see right here, requirement already satisfied. So now we need to go and we need to get the punbup.py file. So if we run over here to GitHub/hercore punbup, you can download the file. Just grab the code right here, download it as a zip, and it will put it in your downloads directory. Now what I've done is I've already downloaded everything. So the download is there. I've created a folder called infected, which is where we're going to put the BUP files and where we'll be running the tools from. So right now we are in the infected folder. We've got the software, punbup-master.zip. That's what we just downloaded. Now we need to unload that, or to unzip that. So that's all you need to do. And to do it, you just type in unzip and hit the file name. But we've already done that. So we're just going to go ahead and look at some of these BUP files. The one in particular I want to look at is this one that says the 704710.162f24650.bup.zip. All I've done is just zip this thing up. So let's, if we look over here in the BUP files directory, I've already got some in here I was looking at, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of those. So cd BUP files. And we got a lot of them in there, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of them all. Now all we have left are the files that are inside the zipped up file from GitHub for punbup.py. And it's basically a license, a readme, a setup script, and then the punbup.py. You don't have to do anything to this to make it work. Just right out of the box, it will work just by running the punbup.py. So I'm going to go ahead and move this file into this BUP folder. So you can see it's there. So we're going to unzip it. Alright, so now we've got a BUP file. You can see it right here, 704710.162, whatever, right? So we can use the script, the punbup.py, to take a look at this. Now if we just throw the -H, we'll get the help file. And you see it does a lot of really good stuff here, very useful. One, we can get the details file out. We can look at get the original file name and have it renamed to that. We can calculate hashes, an MD5, a SHA-1, or a SHA-256. We can have it output the first quarantine file if there's multiple files. We can do hex dumps and ASCII and hex dumps. All very useful. So we're going to start out by just looking at the details. When you unbup a file, you're going to have two files. You're going to have one called details, and then you're going to have one called file_0 or file_1, depending on how many files are in there. And let's take a look at the details file. So if we look at this file with the -D command, these are the details of it. It's going to tell you what it was detected as in McAfee and give you all the data, the rule sets that it was running, or the signature set that McAfee was running, the whole 9 yards. Then down here though, this is what's kind of important, is it's telling you what the file name was and its path, which is going to be needed if you ever have to put this back if it's found that this is not malware. So let's go ahead and see what else we can do with it. Let's calculate a hash for it. And all we're going to do is just change this to a C for calculate. Then we're going to say an MD5. Okay, so it went ahead and calculated an MD5 for the file that's infected. So let's copy this. And let's go to virus total. And let's paste it in and see if we get anything. There we go. 17 engines detected this file as malicious. So that's a good indication that McAfee was probably right on top of it. So if we want to extract it, all we need to do is just literally type in punbup.py and the file name. Now you can see we have a directory with the name of the bup file in it. So if we cd to it, you'll see we got two files. We got details and we got file 0. The details file is exactly what we saw when we threw the -D switch to the command. And if we run the file command on file 0, it's telling us, based on the magic of the file, that it's a PE32 executable. So you know, it's a Windows binary. Now let's see here. We can also tell it to do a rename on the file. So if we do a -O, lowercase o, it went ahead and extracted the files again, probably into that same folder, so there's probably an extra file in there now. Well, no, it's got the same file, but you can see that this is the correct name based on the details file. We scroll up here, you can see it right there. The original file name was evmx scribes sv.exe. So we now have the original name out of the file, and so if we do have to put it back, it's ready to go. Now let's see, we can, there's some other features here that are kind of useful. You can do a -lowercase x, which will give you the hex dump of the file, of just the first file. There we go. Being that it's a probably a fairly large binary, a lot of hex in there. Now if you do it with a capital X, it will give you a hex dump of all the BUP files that were contained in there. And if you want to see an ASCII dump of it, a lowercase a will have the same effect as the lowercase x, but we're going to go ahead and pipe this to more. But what it will do is just print out the hex and ASCII dump of the first file, and a capital A will give you all the files that are in the BUP. There we go. So now you can see here, you can see right there, it's an MZ file. It's basically an executable from Microsoft. That is all there is to extracting a McAfee quarantine file using punbup. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. To see more content like this, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to be notified when new content is released. Thanks.